The dark truth about Subaru's return by death that nobody realizes. Imagine dying. Not once, not twice, but hundreds of times. Now imagine remembering every single death, every scream, every wound, every moment of terror, and then being forced to wake up and do it all again. That is the reality of Subaru Natsuki. Most people think Return by Death is the strongest ability in ReZero. After all, it's basically a cheat code, right? If Subaru makes a mistake, he can simply go back and try again. But what if I told you that Return by Death isn't a blessing at all? What if it's actually one of the cruelest curses ever given to an anime character? Because the dark truth about Return by Death isn't that Subaru dies, it's that Subaru survives. Think about it. Whenever Subaru dies, the world resets. The people around him forget everything. Emilia forgets, Rem forgets, Beatrice forgets. Everyone moves on as if nothing happened. But Subaru doesn't. He remembers everything. Every failed timeline. Every friend he couldn't save. Every moment he watched someone he loved die in front of him. To everyone else, those timelines never existed. But for Subaru, they're as real as any memory. Imagine carrying hundreds of invisible graves inside your mind. That's Subaru's life, and here's where it gets even darker. People often say Subaru gets stronger because of Return by Death. But does he really? Physically, no. Every time he resets, his body returns, but his mind doesn't. The fear remains, the trauma remains, the guilt remains. In fact, Return by Death creates a terrifying imbalance. Subaru's body is young, but mentally, he's lived through far more suffering than anyone around him can even imagine. And that's exactly why Subaru often breaks down. Not because he's weak, but because no human being was ever meant to experience what he's experiencing. Think about how many times he's watched his friends die. Think about how many times he's failed. Think about how many times he's had to pretend everything is okay while carrying memories nobody else shares. Now here's the part that most viewers miss. The true horror of Return by Death isn't death itself. It's loneliness. Whenever something traumatic happens to us in real life, we talk about it. We share our pain with friends. We seek comfort. Subaru can't do that. The witch's curse prevents him from revealing Return by Death. The moment he tries, terrifying consequences follow. So every nightmare remains trapped inside him. Every horrifying memory stays locked away. He's carrying emotional wounds that can never fully heal because he can't even explain where they came from. Imagine losing someone you love. Then, imagine being forbidden from ever telling anyone it happened. That's Subaru's reality every single day, and because of that, Return by Death slowly chips away at his identity. Each loop changes him. Each death leaves a scar. Every failure shapes who he becomes. Which raises a disturbing question. How much of the original Subaru is still left? The Subaru we met at the beginning of ReZero was naive, immature, hopeful. But after countless deaths, betrayals and tragedies, he became someone completely different. And that's the hidden cost of Return by Death. Every reset saves the world around him. But it also takes something from Subaru, a piece of his innocence, a piece of his sanity, a piece of himself. In a way, Return by Death doesn't just rewind time. It slowly rewrites Subaru, and that's why some of the most emotional moments in ReZero aren't the deaths. They're the moments when Subaru realizes he can never go back to being the person he once was. Because no matter how many times the world resets, Subaru never truly gets a fresh start. The memories stay, the pain stays, the trauma stays. And yet, he keeps moving forward. He keeps trying again. He keeps choosing to save people even when it destroys him. And maybe that's why Subaru is one of the most incredible protagonists in anime. Not because he has a powerful ability, but because despite carrying a mountain of suffering that would break most people, he still finds a reason to stand back up every single time. So the next time you watch Subaru die in ReZero, remember this. Death isn't the scary part. The scary part is waking up afterward, remembering everything, and knowing you're the only person in the entire world who does. That's the dark truth about Return by Death. And honestly, that might be far more terrifying than death itself.